LGBTQ plus community faces discrimination, and oftentimes prejudice and discrimination comes from within their own family. Homophobia, transphobia, biphobia, queerphobia among families has caused separation among many families, and it has led LGBTQ community members to go find their own sense of kinship and family within their own community. This video is to shed light on the experiences of LGBTQ plus members of this generation and their experiences with kinship and family. Hi, what's your name, age, and identity?
Hello, my name is Natalie. I'm 23. My sexual identity is gay, queer, but I don't know.
Hey, I'm Ariana and I'm 20. I'm a female and I'm a lesbian or gay or whatever. However you guys want to perceive it as.
Hi, my name is Paloma. I'm 24 years old and I identify as lesbian.
Hi, my name is Julie. I'm 22 and I identify as lesbian.
Hi, my name's Erin. I am 23 years old. I am female and consider myself queer.
Are you out to your family about your identity?
Pretty much, I am out to my family, at least my immediate family, they all know.
I'm not out to the older generation members of my family, such as my dad, mom, and aunts and uncles. But for the younger generation, like my brother and cousins, I am out.
I am out to my immediate family, but not my extended family.
I am out to my family about my identity. I came out to my father first. My parents are divorced, and my father is definitely more accepting than my mother. I've always been nervous about what my mother would think. It was half of the reason that I couldn't even accept my own sexuality for the longest time.
Yeah, they pretty much know everything. They know I like girls, they know I have a girlfriend, they know I live with my girlfriend, and yeah.
How has your identity affected your relationship with your family?
I think in the beginning it was a lot harder, having an insecurity of this not being normal. I came out at a very young age, at least to my brother or my siblings. Coming out to them was, I guess I thought it was safe, but it ended up being more of traumatic, being bullied by my own siblings.
I feel like my relationship has gotten worse, not as connected as I used to be, but we were never really connected anyway, so it's okay.
Since I'm not out to my parents, there's no evident effect that my identity has imposed on our relationship. But for my brother, I feel like this brought us closer.
It never really affected my relationship with my family. My family never saw as me. They never seen me like if I was a lesbian or if I was straight. They pretty much don't see a difference with that. So they pretty much accepted me like since I never really come out to them officially. It kind of just happened, and they've never really said much about it. But I just know now that they're really okay with it.
Since being out, have you found a new sense of kinship within the LGBTQ community?
Definitely. I feel like I volunteered at a lot of queer places and went to more queer spaces, and then seemed to gravitate more towards that community, and I feel like I've been welcomed in it pretty well.
Since coming out, I feel like I've definitely felt a huge sense of kinship within the LGBTQ community. I feel like I'm part of something where I'm understood, and I feel like it's just nice to meet other lesbians and to meet other people who are queer and part of the community, to kind of experience a whole side of life that I feel like I missed out on growing up, because up until I was in high school, after high school, I really denied the fact that I was lesbian. I really tried to convince myself I was straight. So finding this community has been a huge comfort.
Yeah, I would say so. I think ever since I was younger, I think I went to Pride every year, so I think I found myself like in that community for a really long time, but never really realized it. It kind of makes you feel like you're in a safe space because, you know, there's other people that are also like me, and also kind of understand like what it was like to come out or just be in that sort of position to come out or anything.
Who has had the hardest time accepting your identity?
I would say my little brother, probably the most, just because I feel he doesn't understand it. Or my mother, because she is very religious.
I think while growing up, it was really hard. I felt alone most of the time. And I think that had to do with a lot of ignorance coming from my siblings, because for a while I thought I was very close with them. But they chose to exclude me. But as time has progressed, and obviously the awareness of people's sexuality and life choices started to become a more prominent part of all of our education and lives, it's been a lot easier. So now I would say like life is a lot simpler, and I don't feel regret for being who I am.
Who has had the easiest time accepting your identity?
My older sister, she's loosely out of everyone. My sister, maybe my dad, who I guess is accepting.
The person that has been the most accepting is my mother. I came out to her when I feel like it was very noticeable. I chopped off my hair, but when I verbally said it to her, I was in college. It was after a breakup, so I was in a very vulnerable state, and she was very accepting of it. And there are times where I'm like insecure about being who I am, and I ask her like, do you hate me like because I'm gay? And she always responds in like, no, you are my child, and regardless of how you choose to live your life and who you love, I just want you to be happy. So I think she has been the most accepting.
How has your family's approval or disapproval affected your life?
Well, growing up, I've been around a lot of heterosexual communities, and a lot of my friends, they're now part of the LGBTQ community, so it's quite hard to find a community within them. But while traveling and experiencing new places and new people, I think that I find a lot more comfort from people who do fit into that community. So
I feel like my extended family, their disapproval definitely makes me not come around as often and not talk to them as often. I think it just makes me work harder and not want to give them anything to judge. I think I just feel like I'm always trying to not slip up so they don't have anything to say about the whole community.
It's also really important to consider trans bodies and their relationships with their families. 19% of trans youth experience domestic violence due to their gender identity, and 50% of those people also experience homelessness due to their gender identity or expression. Those who are rejected from their families also experience suicidal attempts at higher rates than their peers who have accepting families. They also have higher rates of drug use and alcohol use, higher rates of homelessness, and higher rates of sex work. Alright guys, this is the end. Thank you so much for watching and for coming to my final project. I hope you guys were able to take something away from this, and I hope you understand how much acceptance and support means to us. Have a beautiful day and stay safe.